Hello, everyone, and welcome to our podcast for Project Together for Dialogue. I'm very pleased to have my very interesting guest here with me. So, I would just start with, can you please introduce yourself a little bit? Just tell me something about yourself, your work.
Well, thank you very much. So sometimes they call me Boštjan, sometimes they even call me differently. It depends who actually asks for me or who actually is calling. Sometimes they call me even a dad. Sometimes they even call me doesn't matter. Anyway, so I'm dealing with the communication processes. I'm dealing with the communication itself. So I pretend to call myself as a communicator, and my job basically consists of delivering the message in the right time to the right public, which is identified as a crucial one. I work. 10 years ago, we started with Klun Studio. It's a small family managed thing in Maribor. We do deal with hospitality design. So basically, we are designing the whole experience, considering the branding of a hotel or a restaurant or whatever. We do design for the all things that somebody can grab in their hand. We can help with setting the kitchen and so on and so on. So this is one part of our job. We do deal with the events, online, offline events for I don't know, thousands of people, 10 people. Once again, it's not matter how many times. The important is that we are able to deliver the message, which is the essence of our work. Then we do, yeah, as I said, we do with branding, and one of really important thing for us is the public relation thing, special in this political part of political campaign, political PR, delivering crucial message in the electoral campaign, and so on. So basically, we're talking a lot.
Thank you very much. Very interesting. Miss Melanie, can you tell
Hello.
us something about your work as a youth leader?
Sure. So my name is Melani and I'm 19 years old. I'm still a student in high school as a hairdresser, and I really like to work with people. That's why I'm in this project and podcast actually, because I really like to work in team and with people, and yeah, I think that's what matters.
Oh, thank you very much. So maybe we just start with our topic. We're going to talk about involvement of young people in decision-making process. So how do you think we could involve more and enchant more the young people to be part of the decision-making?
This is one among the hardest and the easiest question to answer, right? Because if we ask ourselves when we feel involved, then the answer is very easy. Probably when the topics are somehow so familiar to us that we want to participate with, I don't know, deploying the message about it or whatever. I mean, if you feel if you feel able to change few things on some field, then you feel also involved, and this is how somebody probably is getting involved, right? And once again, this is one of the hardest questions to answer because we are not so very well. I mean, we are not achieving any results involving, let's say, especially young people in any of processes. I'm sometimes afraid that we completely failed in involving young people in any processes which are important for the development or state or the society. And each day we do not ask ourselves how can we improve this mechanism. It's lost at least twice because we do not nothing, and we lost another day thinking about what can we do better. And well, to sum up, I think that we should first of all start speaking. First of all, we have to identify the problem which are important for the young people younger than 25, so to say. Then learn how to talk their language, and then using the knowledge from, I don't know, dinosaurs, ages, and the ages of the start of advertising, then promoting ourselves or the mechanism or any other entity as the answer to the question how this problem, which was identified at the beginning, could be solved. It's easy. I mean, but then
It's
but,
easy in
yeah, in theory, but
yes.
then in practice, well, we do face some problem, and we are facing it all the time.
Thank you.
Okay.
What would you say? Do you have some other ideas maybe for more involved?
Yeah,
people?
sure. So because I'm actually young and I'm 19 years
Exactly.
old, from my perspective, I think we should do like some workshops and maybe online platforms in which the older people tell younger people how they can actually work in I don't know, in our country or in our city, and so the young people should be heard more what they want. And yeah.
It's allowed to ask something, or shall I
Yes,
wait
yes, no,
for?
of course.
No, because I really would like to know what and where. So what's the problem that you are not heard enough? And does young people enroll themselves in any kind of mechanism or party to be heard? Do we have this mechanism of identifying of or to be able to address the question which is bothering young people to the older?
So I think
Where we miss, I mean,
yeah, I don't actually know the right answer because there's no right answer to that. I think the older people, I don't mean everyone, but they don't listen to what young people really want, and they're like old fashioned, if I say this. They don't accept something new, and it really bothers young people, and then they're like, okay, it doesn't matter anything, nothing will be changed. So yeah.
So at least this thing is the same when I was 19.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we already start a bit on my next question. So how do you think that we could make to be young people more heard and to be more noticed?
Well, first of all, to admit that young people has a lot to say. And then the second, as Melanie already explained, how which mechanism should be used, adopted to make young people much more even visible and accepted. Well, okay, workshop might be one of the answer, but I'm quite sure that there are some workshop around. What's the topic that bother young people most? I think that might be a problem, and this is might be also something to address, to find a way how to involve more young people in, I'm quite sure, even very well paid program which are dealing with young people, you know, because I'm sure that there are a lot of organization and they have their chapter and where said we will talk to young people and we will try to identify their problem, and we will spend tons of money, no, and we will put a lot of effort in finding the right solution, and so on and so on and so on. So perhaps we should ask ourselves how efficient are those organizations, because I'm quite sure, and it's also written down in our constitution, that we are a social state, and I'm sure that there are laws who support that, but we are failing somewhere, and this might be the first question: where do we fail, and where we lost the connection with 18, 19, 20 years old? You know, I know 16, 17 years old people, because I'm quite ashamed that I'm a part of a population which actually do not listen enough. I mean, this is a complete waste of time and money and energy to identify a problem, and then some, I don't know, 19-year-old lady come and say, okay, we have a problem with I don't know what, and yeah, fine, thank you. I mean,
Yeah.
but there were, finally, we find some engaged people who would like to see a change, but we are not listening to them. Wow, great! I mean, the best. What can what can we wish more? I mean, obviously not. I'm kidding, and it's a staggering fact, and hopefully, or this might be one of the answer how to involve more efficiently young
Yes,
people
yes,
in any decision making process.
yes,
First
I
of all,
agree.
to make them important, to make them feel important,
I think
because
a lot of is talking about
yeah,
this
yeah,
problem, but
yeah.
nothing is really
I mean, I do
getting
feel
better.
I do feel as the same as while I'm talking to my daughter, because she's unsatisfied with, I don't know, with the family link which I installed on her mobile phone, and she come to me, or she's coming to me, and she's going on with the story that she need, I don't know, social platform for just few more minutes, and I sometimes said, okay, no problem, I will prolong you the time. But can you imagine how disappointed she would be if I would say, no, you can say whatever you want, but no way. And there was another anecdote. We bought ourselves a dog 3 years ago, and it was the end of 4 year project. And I was trying to find the reason why we cannot why we cannot have a dog, because nobody will be there who will take the dog out, nobody will give the dog something to eat, and so on, so on. So I was trying to make our family completely unprepared for having a dog. And what had happened? Both of my kids were working really hard to persuade me in the decision, to make me change my mind. But can you imagine how? Can you imagine the delusion after 4 years of doing whatever I was saying at that time, and at the end of the day, I would say, no, no way. We are still not able to have a dog. We cannot adopt one. And I think that this is the same situation you tell me before. Come on, let's do something together.
Yeah.
Let's do something. Let's organize something. Let's start working. Let's start with the workshop. And at the end of the day, yeah, okay, who cares? We know what's good for you.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a
We
big,
don't appreciate them enough, so they
no,
lose their motivation for it. Maybe
definitely.
yes.
And it's a concept that it will go on even in the older age. I mean, if you're putting some effort somewhere and then nobody gives a
No results, and
yeah,
you
yeah,
lose the.
yeah.
So maybe a question for you on this: how do you think that we could motivate them more? So what's the motivation behind the youth to be engaged in?
So I think maybe we should involve like things that are important in our population, like maybe in school. Um, that there will be more activities that are in this topic, with this topic. And yeah, there are organizations that actually help young people to understand something. But I really think with all social media and all of this, we could be more like the organizations could be more adhered, and the young people can, I don't know how to say this, but they can see some organization on social media if they would promote themselves more, and maybe this is something we could give to young
So
people.
you think the social media is the answer because it's very popular in these days?
Sure.
Okay. Do you have some comment on this?
No, I'm learning. I mean, I'm listening, and from what I heard till now, I can just agree. And yeah, but when I say that I can agree on what you say, it's the same time. At the same time, I'm confessing how stupid I am. Because we know how, but we don't use it. I mean, we do not adopt it. We are not so, as a society, not just by myself, but as a society.
We know what we should do, but
we are not so good at implementing it.
Or we are scared, actually. I don't know.
Scared also?
Yeah, maybe.
Well, yeah. Why not? I mean, it's a legitimate fear. I mean, it's a common fear before something is adopted. I mean, yeah. But these are the answer why we are losing populations and population of young people who might be the leaders of tomorrow. And then we should also ask ourselves who will be the leader of tomorrow if we lose, or we are losing the most prominent people who are somehow already involved in the process of making changes, but sometimes then they just give up because they're not heard. Who will be? Who? I mean, who
What's gonna happen?
yeah, and yeah.
Yeah,
What will be the pool from which we will
in the
pick
future,
up, or
yes.
from which will emerge the future leader?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I hope that we meet again for another very interesting conversation, and hope you enjoy it and have a nice day.